random December evening. You know that in between time of year when Christmas isn't fully over, but New Year's hasn't quite begun yet. There's still some leftover chocolate cake on the table that is slightly dry now. Half open boxes of sweets and the Christmas tree in the corner, leaning just enough to make you wonder if it'll survive one more night. I was sitting at the dining table when, out of nowhere, my sister exclaimed, "Let's write a letter to Santa." I looked at her and said, "I am 13. She looked back and replied, "Exactly. This one isn't for Santa." It made me think about something I had never questioned before. Every Christmas, millions of children leave cookies beside the fireplace, write letters, and wake up genuinely believing someone is going to read them. Nobody has proof Santa is coming, yet they still do it, because belief changes behavior long before it changes reality. Eventually, we stop writing the letters. But something interesting happens. Belief doesn't disappear. It just changes names. Some people call it faith. Some call it hope. Some call it visualization. And over the last few years, one word seems to have taken over social media: manifestation. Talking about manifestation, a famous story comes from Jim Carrey. Years before becoming one of Hollywood's biggest stars, he wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered. He folded it, kept it in his wallet, and looked at it for years. Eventually, he earned around that same amount for a film. Some called it a coincidence. Some said it's manifestation, while some believed carrying that check quietly changed the choices he made every single day. Whatever you choose to call it, it made me wonder, is this idea actually new? Because if millions of people across the world believe in it today, surely someone must have thought about it long before vision boards, Pinterest, and motivational podcasts. So I did what every curious 13-year-old would do. I googled it. And to my surprise, I didn't end up on Instagram. I ended up somewhere much older, the Bhagavad Gita. Long before we called it manifestation, the Gita expressed a simple yet profound idea. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. As you think, so you become. I didn't suddenly understand everything. I definitely didn't become enlightened overnight. But I understood enough to feel slightly uncomfortable. Because if that was true, then every thought I repeated wasn't just passing through my mind. It was shaping me. Every time I told myself, Ganga will always score better marks than me in maths, I wasn't just making an observation. I was reinforcing an identity. As I read further, I realized the Gita wasn't about getting what you want. It's about becoming who you're meant to be. My mom explained it simply. Identify what you're truly meant to do. Train your mind through consistent practice. And let go of the constant fear of outcomes. In other words, stop obsessing over what you want to receive and start becoming the person who can achieve it. Basically, you focus on who you're becoming, not just what you're getting. And when you stop acting out of fear and start acting with clarity and purpose, somehow the outer world rearranges to match your vision. The funny thing about manifestation is that everyone seems to have their own version of it. You ask 5 people about manifesting, and you may get 8 different answers. But a common conclusion we find is that the universe creates and provides ways to transform your ideas and desires into reality. You just need to have a clear vision of your future and align your thoughts and actions accordingly so that your vision can come into fruition. Think about it. You don't fall asleep instantly at night. You lie down, close your eyes, pretend a little, and then it happens. That's kind of how everything else works too. You need to step into the feeling of what you want before it's even real. Your energy is always sending a message. Not just what you say out loud, but what you believe, what you expect, what you repeat to yourself, and yes, even in your own head. And the idea is that the universe responds to that energy you send out. Best part is, the universe is not in a budget and never says no. Never. So if you keep telling yourself, I'm not good enough, or things never work out for me, then in a way, that's the message you keep sending. Manifestation isn't about blindly staying positive or pretending everything is perfect. It's about being aware of what you are reinforcing every single day. The law of attraction is the belief that your thoughts influence what you notice, the way you act, and what you create in your life. It is based on the ideas that like attracts like and nature abhors a vacuum. In simple words, the thoughts and emotions you focus on becomes the experiences you notice most. When you let go of negativity and self-doubt, you create space for your mindset and experiences to gradually change. So, it's not just about what you want. It's about what you believe is possible. And when you expand what you believe is possible, your dreams stop feeling impossible and starts feeling worth working towards. People who believe in manifestation often talk about a simple yet interesting idea behind it. That the present moment isn't your enemy, it's your starting point. You can resist it or you can work with it. Because the way you show up today shapes the possibilities of tomorrow. Another closely related idea is the law of abundance, the belief that success, happiness, and opportunities are not limited. There is enough room for everyone to achieve their goal. It isn't about ignoring your current situation, but appreciating it while believing you can go further. Gratitude, combined with a positive outlook, helps you recognize new possibilities. If there is enough opportunity for you, there is enough for everyone else too. Abundance doesn't divide, it expands. And all of this leads to one bigger idea. You're not just experiencing your life, you're participating in it. Now, manifestation doesn't come with one rule book. Some people go all in with candles, full moons, and gemstones. Others simply sit with a notebook, write on a few thoughts, and call it a day. The point is, it's never really about the ritual. It's about the mindset you bring to it, and most importantly, how strongly you believe in the future you're working towards. But that raises a question. How do you convince your mind to believe in something that hasn't happened yet? You train it by repeating the future until it starts to feel familiar. A student who visualizes walking into the exam hall confidently isn't predicting the future. He is preparing for it. You shape your thinking by making your dreams feel ordinary rather than distant. Instead of treating your dream job or your biggest goal as an impossible fantasy, you begin to imagine it as a normal part of your life. You strengthen it through gratitude, not because you ignore what you don't have, but because appreciating what you already have makes it easy to believe that there's more to come. And perhaps the hardest part is learning to let go. You do the work, give it your best, and stop obsessing over the outcome. Because constantly worrying about the destination only distracts you from taking the next step. right? By now, you might be wondering, is there actually any science behind this? I wonder the same thing. One experiment that got my attention was conducted by neuroscientist Alvaro Pascual Leon. Participants were divided into two groups. One played the piano physically, the other only imagined playing it every day. When researchers later scanned their brains, both groups showed changes in areas involved in movement and learning. Of course, the group that only imagined playing the piano didn't become concert pianists. That still required real practice. But the study showed that vivid mental rehearsal can prepare the brain for future action. Visualization doesn't show that the universe grants our wishes, but it does show something equally powerful. Our brain changes according to what we focus on, and that changes the choices we make. All of this doesn't prove that the universe grants our wishes, but it shows something equally powerful. No, wait. I thought I manifested that I'm going to forget my script. So I kept a script in advance. Maybe this shows that manifestation isn't really magic. It is that you need to have the action so that your dreams can come true. Let me continue. Manifestation works on two powerful ideas. First is the reticular activating system, RAS, the brain's filtering system. Every second, it receives far more information that it can consciously process. So it prioritizes what seems most relevant. That's why, after learning a new word or thinking about buying a particular phone, you suddenly notice it everywhere. It isn't appearing more often. Your brain is simply paying more attention to it. In a similar way, consistently focusing on a goal may help you notice opportunities and possibilities that were always there. Another remarkable feature of the brain is neuroplasticity, its ability to reorganize itself through repeated experiences. Thoughts, habits, and behaviors that are practiced regularly strengthen certain neural pathways while others gradually weaken. This principle underlies many modern rehabilitation therapies, including pain medicine, demonstrating that the brain can adapt through repeated experiences. Together, these ideas offer a psychological explanation to why manifestation resonates with many people. Rather than suggesting that thoughts alone can change reality, they show how focused attention, repeated thinking, and consistent action can influence the way we perceive opportunities and respond to them. But here's what to keep in mind. All this only works when paired with action. And this is where most people get it wrong. Manifestation without action is just daydreaming. Action without intention is just busy work. But the results happen when you combine clear intention with consistent action. And when I think back to that December evening, my sister sitting across from me with a pen in her hand, desperately waiting for me to write, I realized something. I didn't understand back then what she meant by, "This letter is never really for Santa." I thought she was asking me to write a letter. But she was asking me to write a future. Because maybe manifestation isn't about convincing the universe to change your life. Maybe it's about convincing yourself that you're capable of changing it. Because whether you realize it or not, you are shaping your life through what you focus on, what you believe, and most importantly, what you choose to do next. Imagine you're late. You see a bus at the stop, just about to leave. And in that moment, you are thinking, "Please, just wait, just this once." You are manifesting, but if you simply stand there hoping, that bus is gone. So what do? You run, you grab your bag, you sprint, you wave like your life depends on it. And maybe, just maybe, the driver sees you and stops. That is manifestation. Not just asking, not just believing, but moving. Because the universe might open the door, but you still have to run to catch it. So the real question isn't, can you manifest? It is, what future are you writing today? So maybe, for the first time in my entire life, my sister was right. This one was never for Santa. Thank you.